What is up, everybody? Mark on the mic. Mr. Jim to my right. Mr. Ryan Muckenhirn across from me right now. Ryan, a while back in a previous production, I don't even remember what production it was, but I felt we were talking about the Sims Vibration Laboratories Barrel Deresonator.
Yep.
The Sharpshooter X-Ring Barrel Deresonator. I got one right here. If you're watching on YouTube, I'm holding it up right now.
Can we pop that out of the plate and packaging that it's in?
Yeah.
I felt like we were I felt like people could infer that we were dogging on this device.
One of us was dogging on the device.
Yeah, incorrect. Another, because you spin things a certain way, and, okay, by what I said, yes, you could infer, but in fact, I was not. So, for those who aren't aware, this is a product that you affix to your barrel. There's a hole in the middle that can you can slide up and down the barrel, essentially.
Right.
I don't know what you're laughing at. I'm just going to assume it's incredibly immature.
Just Jim. I love him so much. He just right. Okay, go on.
Carry on.
Oh boy.
It's
Train of thought.
ribbed. It's ribbed. Do we want to?
So this herein lies not the problem, but there is an attribute based on appearance. I'm trying to choose my words carefully.
It looks like something you might buy for a quarter in a gas station bathroom. Based
on appearance, it's just like not something that I find aesthetically pleasing, right? So the history behind my personal usage of this, once again, I was in some sort of time constraint pickle, and I said, "Hey, Ryan, can you either check or confirm
I'm not
zero?"
Touch you. I'm not going to touch you. I just had to
gotta
get rid of that hair.
Little hair there. Can you help me slide it? And this was the old 300 Wisdom. Talk about it all the time, incessantly. And you said, "Hey, I shot the gun with whatever ammo we were using at the time. Please stop." And you're like, so you had one of these, which I lost. This is a brand new one, by the way. I purchased this.
Lost is a really interesting way to say it.
It sat in my truck for
It was in the door pocket of your truck as recently as 4 months ago.
But it degraded.
It made it from the...
I couldn't return it to you in that form.
It made it from the F-150 to the Tundra?
It did.
Okay.
Oh.
We're going to finish the story here.
Okay.
So you said, "Hey, I shot the gun. It shot better with this." And I said, "Hey, I'm pot committed at this point. I'm going. If you say it shoots better with this, let's go." Down the road, I was shooting that gun at the range down at Edge, and I was getting like okay groups with whatever ammo I was pushing through. I keep coughing lately.
It's probably that sweater. You must have sensory aversion like me.
I've never seen somebody take such a labored drink of water. I thought it was like,
it's a real thing.
He couldn't get the water down
where the people are eating
enough.
it. They're like,
I apologize to listeners.
He couldn't get it down fast enough.
Like 4 or 5 podcasts lately.
Things
It's
happen.
the fuzzy sweater.
I'm about to take it off. I'm sweltering. It's so hot.
Anyway, down the road, you're on the range.
I'm shooting my gun. I'm getting like good, but not great. And I go, you know what? I'm going to see what Ryan was talking about. I'm going to see if my group opens up. If I take the device off. I took it off because I was curious.
It's interesting. It's interesting. It's all very interesting.
It is.
I took it off. My group actually tightened up.
That's interesting.
And it got to a point I was like, oh, fantastic. Ryan was lying to me. That's when I knew this man cannot be true.
You thought that Ryan had set out in a fit of sabotage because you were always calling upon him at the last minute, the final hour. You thought that Ryan was playing a ruse on you and putting a thing that looked a little silly on your gun just to make you crawl a little bit.
My lack of planning becomes his emergency.
Yeah, that's a very good way of describing how these hunts usually go.
So here's what I would say.
Hold on a minute.
Honest moment here, Ryan. No,
Go ahead.
Let me finish.
Please.
I do think that when you shot the rifle, that you put that on the barrel and it shot better for you. Maybe something happened over time. Maybe I was shooting different. I don't know what the circumstance was. All I know is when I took it off, it did shoot better. But I think that also proves that it can make it shoot differently. And at times...
It does something.
It does something. And at times, depending on what you're doing, can make your gun shoot better. Case in point. My brother had a rifle.
What kind?
I think it was a Browning X-Bolt.
You guys kind of seem like a Browning family.
We got a lot of them.
Yeah.
And I'd say they've all shot very well.
This is your brother, right? Oh, go ahead.
Related by blood?
Yes, correct.
Okay.
And so he put one of these on his rifle, and whatever load he was trying to get to shoot, he got it like shooting like a house of fire after putting this on the barrel.
Okay.
So where I'm going with this, and I'm talking a lot, I'm not anti this product. I think it's a very reasonably priced. I think this was like $8 or $9. Yeah. So for what it can do and for what as shooters we will spend money on to improve accuracy, potentially not a better product. Again, it's just the aesthetics. I will say Amazon, fill the airwaves here before I find this picture.
While Mark is looking for this, I'm going to give you my version of the story.
Yes.
Which is very different. You paint it very differently.
Mark says, look, man, I don't have the time. Can you just do this? Yes, I'll do it. I go down to the range.
That part matches.
Yep. And I thought, there's like a little bit, he was up in arms over the whole system. Is it the ammo? Is it the rings? Is it the gun?
Which is a bigger conversation than we need to have, but I'm going to wait on my addition.
And finally, I'm kind of pulling my hair out because I hate shooting that gun. It is not pleasant. I know that I have...
It's the only gun I shoot better than you.
I know it. I know that I have in my possession...
Home field advantage.
The doinker, which is not what it's called.
It's not what it's called.
My hunting partner calls it a doinker, and so I've forever referred to it as that. I put it on about...
Sharpshooter X-Ring has a much better ring to it.
Hear me out.
Yeah, but doinker really gets the point across.
I run it down the end of down the barrel to forend contact and just forward. And that gun immediately behaves differently. I get a great group. I even cut the target out. I give it to Boardman. He's like, "What? What is this?" And I'm like, "Mark, it shoots better." I don't care. It shot fine before. And I said, just leave it on there.
Which I did for a couple years.
No, friend. No, friend.
He makes things up.
Mark, I don't think this part is made up.
No, friend.
Mark
goes on his hunt. There's a picture of the animal that Mark killed on this hunt. Curiously absent.
You're making this up.
He took it off.
We got to find the picture. I
know. I'm going to go back and look through time.
And then I
took it off at the range.
Order in the court.
He makes things up to fit his own little narratives.
I confront him on it, and I'm like, "You took it off for the picture." And he's like, and that is the truth, ladies and gentlemen.
Now what's curious is that he claims later on
he went to the range
with the doinker on the gun at the range, he said then that it didn't shoot very well. So one could presumably think that if it was removed at one point for photo reasons and then put back on, perhaps it was not put back on in the exact same manner in which it was when it was shooting well.
If you read the instructions.
What you're saying makes sense if that's what happened, which is not what happened.
I don't know why
we're even fighting about this.
Oppose this story when I also was present during. All right, what are we going to see here?
Yeah.
Apply a thin coat of gun oil to the inside of the sharpshooter X-ring. Slide the product over the end of the barrel. The iron sight may need to be temporarily moved if it was installed. Mark doesn't have that. It's X-Bolt seeing the stalker. Run the product down 3/4 of an inch away from the stock. Sounds about like what I did. And adjusting it forward in half-inch increments to fine-tune. Now, I took a guess when I put this on because I had been using it was my own personal Sims Vibrations.
That's why I bought you this replacement because I ruined the other one.
Mark, you seem really mad.
Well,
excuse me.
I was there.
No, you weren't.
I know what happened. I wasn't there when you put it on. I was there when I took it off.
I'm sure you did. I had previous history with this product, and on a particular rifle that I owned, which was a Weatherby custom shotgun, 300 Weatherby, it made an astounding difference in the performance.
I believe that.
Astounding. My hunting partner is one of the most trustworthy, honest people I've ever met in my life, and he would rib me for the use of this product. We went to a public range in Wyoming. We took a south route to Wyoming. We hit a public range just to do some proofing, and I was struggling with my gun, and I thought something cataclysmic had happened. I looked down, it wasn't on there. How do you forget that? I was so hyped up.
Well, how did it come off?
I took it off for some reason. In like a cleaning process, but I had it in the case. And he goes, "Oh, your doinker isn't installed." I put it on, and that gun just sucked down. We were proofing to like 400 or 500 yards with it. And he's like, "Damn, that thing really works."
Yep.
Sure does.
I've got photographic evidence of me using this in the field, pre-Vortex with a PST 210 or PST 210 S1M installed.
Which would be?
Viper PST Generation 1, 2.5 to 10 with a EBR 1 MRAD.
We need to also just address the fact that, Mark, for how much you love that Browning X-Bolt stainless stalker and 300 Wisdom,
there's a new 300 Wisdom.
Why was it never right? Every year we'd come to the season, and it would be about time to go, and that thing would always be in shambles.
It wouldn't be in shambles. I was probably putting like a new scope on it because we would come out with something new.
It was like an Italian sports car. It was like it was pretty for you to look at. You enjoyed having it, but every time you needed it, it was broken.
No, that's not true.
There it is, right there.
That is true.
There was definitely a several.
There's a lot of things that you're calling not true today that we were all present for. And 2 out of 3 of us can confirm we're true. I see you using it. It looks nice.
That's a PST Gen 1.
So anyway,
okay,
back
Jim,
to the,
I want you
to
remember back to we should maybe find this footage because we did like a recording with Ian.
Yes.
A while back, and then we ended up like not using it for anything. Where we cleaned. Remember we cleaned the Browning. Like we shot it before, then we did like a super deep cleaning of it, and then we shot it again, and it did like tighten up. But do you remember like that last group? Like it was like, I thought very. I mean, I wouldn't say it wasn't probably like super impressive if you're like a crazy PRS guy, but for a factory gun that you've shot a lot and treated terribly.
Here's the thing. To give credit then to the Browning, it always somehow comes together.
But
it always starts out in complete shambles, and I'm not sure how that happens.
Just fine tuning, like either putting a new scope on or changing the bullet load, just like that general sorting
why are you
out.
always changing things? I know why you're changing scopes because we work here.
Yeah.
But I don't know why the other things you're always
changing. Because you're like,
I
want to try this bullet or that bullet, or you know what I mean? Like knowledge is power. Here's what I'm going to say.
Mark is
it's
like standing next to a cactus.
Amazon's not doing this product any favors. Okay, they are by providing it at a fair price, and
to the description.
And the shipping was like I got it like the next day. It was like astounding. It was like I don't even know how they do it. It's like magic. But like I said, the description, and I don't know who wrote this, and maybe they're a prankster. Jim, could you hold that up, please?
You're gonna make me hold it while you read it? Okay.
Put it on your finger. He hates that.
So I'm going to say here's the first 3 words of the description: limb saver, unisex, adult.
I'm glad to know that both men and women can use the product. The device.
The only word there that relates to that product are the words limb saver.
Well, and obviously that's a brand name because this isn't a recoil reduction tool.
To save your limbs.
No. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, so, like, this is a product. So, I mean, it probably, does it say limb? It does say limb saver. So the first product that these guys came out with were called limb savers. I've got some on my first compound.
Heck yeah.
Bow. They had like a adhesive backer.
Yep.
Put that on the inside of the limbs.
Oh, it was for archery.
So
limbs.
that was their first product.
I thought they used this rubber product in like butt stocks to like save your shoulders.
They do. They make
From, like,
amazing
your-
recoil.
Oh, they make
pads.
they make a really good recoil pad too.
Okay,
so they make
that was
multiple
where
products.
I was. Oh, limb saver. That makes
Yeah.
it then archery.
So
okay,
Sims
got it.
Vibration Laboratories
Yes.
Limb Saver.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
got it.
What they specialize in is harmonic dampening products.
And
Correct.
it seems like they do a good job of it. And the
They
fact that
do-
this thing is so inexpensive and easy to install and can make such a significant difference, that we really need to get back to the point. There's a lot of finger pointing going on around here. A lot of he said, she said type things going on around here. But
Mostly
but
he said. By the way,
but
thank you very
the
much.
main purpose of this is that we want to either confirm or deny, which I think it's already been confirmed. We want to show it.
Yeah.
How well it can work.
Yeah. And I'm curious about doing a more quotation mark scientific analysis.
Yeah.
So where we go to the range, maybe grab one rifle, maybe a couple rifles, whatever, and do some experimenting and like take a load, almost like possibly intentionally take a load that, or like a commercial cartridge that for one reason or another doesn't shoot well of that particular rifle and see if you can tune it in.
We've been in being unfriendly to one another. We've also been unfriendly to the listeners out there who have no clue why this even exists. So this is, speaking of Ian Clem, he's come on the podcast before. He's talked to us about many long-range
Barrel
shooting
tuners.
precision. Yes, so essentially what you have is when you shoot your gun, if you're not familiar with this, as the bullet goes down the barrel and leaves the barrel, the barrel goes through something called harmonics. So it sort of looks like a sine wave. And that sine wave can be sort of manipulated by things touching the barrel, say a stock, for example, or it can also be manipulated by the length of the barrel, the sort of circumference of the barrel or the radius of the barrel. It can be manipulated by weight hanging off the end of the barrel. Say you put a suppressor on the end of your gun, or some people literally put weights on the end of their gun that they then tune to change the harmonics of the barrel. Now, this is all very important because it can actually then affect your groups downrange. It can affect, really all sorts of things. And if you tune your barrel with any number of different things, from bedding a stock to free-floating a barrel to putting a tuner on the end, or potentially the device that we have in front of us, you can actually, manipulate your groups into being better, more repeatable, more accurate. Or potentially you could also make it worse. I just wanted to make sure that we made that clear for the people who are still with us.
Yeah, we probably should have covered that in the first 30 seconds of the podcast. Thank you, Jim. That's essentially, and maybe I did say this, essentially this product is a very inexpensive barrel tuner.
Yeah. And
is that fair to say or not fair to say, Ryan?
I mean, when I think of tuners, I think of a weight-forward device that you change the position of the weight.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
When I think of this product, I suppose a tuner could be an appropriate net cast over the description of it. Because in essence, to your points,
when you're
it's doing
looking
the
at,
same thing.
you're adding something to your barrel, the end result being
A change in harmonic frequency.
And you can manipulate it by
Yeah.
where you place it on the barrel too.
Yeah.
So it does have some element of tunability to it. So
I'm in.
I mean, for something that's this simple, the contraptions like Ian has on the end of his guns, that's expensive. It's complicated. Even when he showed us on the podcast, I was like, this would take me a little bit of like explaining to actually figure out how to use it properly. And it's big and ungainly if you had it on the end of a hunting rifle. So
I will say, if you're interested in barrel tuners or have some questions about barrel tuners, that it's a tuner. It's a tuner, Jay.
it's a tuner, bro.
Go check that podcast out with Ian, because he's always a
Right.
wealth of knowledge.
Right. But this thing is so inexpensive. you put it on, you fiddle with it a little bit and see if it helps. I mean, it's kind of like for all of, you got at this point earlier, Mark, for all the expensive and tedious other things that people will try to do to make their guns shoot better, and things that will leave you, chasing all kinds of different things, from, maybe I need to get into reloading. Well, maybe I need to start using all these different bullets, and I need to test all this stuff. This is so inexpensive to just try and just put on your barrel, see if you can, tune it by just its position a little bit differently, and you might end up getting the results that you were hoping for, just like that.
It's worth a shot.
It is.
But
we'll see, because I really am interested. Like, some of this is like anecdotal, like I guess it all is, but like, like my brother's story is like, oh yeah, I was doing this and I wanted to shoot this bullet and put that on and off to the races. You know what I mean? But I really want to, like, put more thought into it, more effort, more testing.
Sure.
I don't know. Ryan, you're raising your hand.
If it comes to pass that when installing the Sims Vibration Laboratories harmonic barrel deresonator on your rifle, if it works better and we can replicate the test, does it stay there?
How much better?
We got to find the same ammo.
That's easy.
Which
165 grain super performance.
No,
Okay,
we're not doing the Browning, or we're not doing the 300 Wisdom.
Why?
Because it worked.
No, not because it worked. Because I don't feel like shooting that gun a bunch of times.
This whole thing has gone down like a witch trial, basically.
Yeah,
And-
just don't look at that one.
Yeah, but we're not going to actually go about testing it on the product that's been in question this entire 21 minutes.
For one thing, they don't make the ammo that I think we were using during that time period.
Of it.
I've got some, but I'd like to save it because they don't make it anymore.
Well, why would you like to save it if they make plenty of new stuff that you've clearly been using in lieu of the old stuff?
No, because I've still been using that ammunition until I got the Tika, which then I switched.
So it sounds like you don't really need it that much anymore.
How much ammunition do you have for the Tika?
I've got enough to get me probably through the next couple seasons.
It sounds like you don't really need the super performance stuff anymore, the old
Good
stuff.
point. Jim's got a good point.
But it's a classic. It's probably a collector's item.
Keep the box.
Okay. I just don't want to shoot that gun a bunch of times. I've got a couple other rifles that I think would be excellent candidates that we could find. Just shoot something and then see if we can make it shoot better out of them.
I think we should. Should let the listeners decide. I think this is a democracy. I think that we do this for the listeners. We should let them decide.
Serious, and this isn't just me being difficult. Because I have a feeling they're going to say, yeah, let's watch them. Let me go see, and I will be honest. How much of that ammo that I have left.
Okay.
Because kind of a moot point if we don't have enough. And golly, I would hate to burn it up if I
Mark, I feel like here's the thing.
But I would
feel like
science.
we need 6 rounds.
No, you don't. You need more than that.
How do we need more than that? Okay, we're gonna get it. We're gonna put a scope on that gun. I don't know if it has a scope on it now, and we're gonna get it darn near sighted in with whatever 300 Wisdom ammo we have laying around. It's gonna get real close. Then we're gonna go put up a big piece of paper. We're gonna aim at the same spot over and over. You're not gonna hit the bullseye, but we're gonna make a group. We're gonna make a group with it on there and a group with it off. Maybe we'll need another 3 rounds if we feel like we need to manipulate the positioning at all for another 3-round
that's just it,
group.
because you don't know, like...
Ryan remembers where he puts it. He just said 3/4 of an inch in front of the end of the stock. And he said that was
instructed.
the magic sauce, as instructed.
Mark, I know you got a couple of rifles that you and I have been toiling over for a couple of years.
So, okay, if I can find enough of that ammo to do the 300 Wisdom, we'll do that. But yeah, I think there's a couple other things that we can take a look at as well. And if you have something, Jim, I think we talked about one of your rifles, or
no,
maybe
all my
not.
Rifles pretty much.
Oh, that was
shoot great
cryogenic.
right now.
That was cryogenically freezing.
Thanks, though.
That we still haven't done yet. Ryan, if you've got something, I think, yeah, we can do. We got some options.
Am I missing something?
Is
Mark sad today?
And I would
You just
say,
conceded to Mark, and I'm not really sure why.
Here's the deal. I have an idea of how much of that ammunition Mark has left, and I don't think I don't think he's playing Go Fish with the same cards that we're playing Go Fish with.
Why are you always accusing me?
I
just told you that I would be honest.
I don't think that you want to shoot that gun.
I would rather not.
It's okay.
Because even though I shoot that gun fine, it's just
issue.
not like the most pleasant thing to go shoot a bunch of times.
There's a number of reasons I don't think you.
Also, point of order. I know I keep interrupting, but also a gun that is more difficult to shoot. I feel like you will get. There's potential for skewed results as time goes on. That's why I was thinking, we'll just grab a couple 6.5 Creedmoors. I think we're more apt to shoot them. There's less human error. There's less potential for human error.
Sure. Do we have any 6.5 Creedmoors that need a little something?
We got a couple.
Yeah. So I think we can, if we want, do all of this.
All right.
We'll see. We'll see how much time we have.
I'll even bring in a couple of guns. I'll bring in one.
I mean, not to brag, but I would bring in a gun or two of my own, but I just don't have any that need it. Does my BLR need it?
It'd be interesting to try.
I shot that.
Does your BLR?
I shot that artillery ammo out of it, and it didn't like that.
No, the cannon powder.
But yeah, but it shoots pretty good with the Hornady stuff.
I think we're there. I think we've.
I'm really glad that this is what we talked about today too.
Yeah, I think this is great. And I know what I was going to say. I don't want to look at this as trying to prove who was right or who was wrong.
What else? I mean, what else is there in the world?
We've already crossed that bridge, Mark.
Because that's how Ryan chose to set this up. Maybe I set it up.
What is it in Monty Python? I feel like we're at now with the lady, and they're gonna throw her in the water. And
what else floats?
What else floats?
Small rocks, pieces of bread, churches, and what are churches made of? Wood.
She turned me into a newt. A newt?
More, I just find the general topic interesting and worth investigating.
I agree, Mark. I'm here for all of this. Wouldn't that be wild, that one gun that you and I have been doing karate with for like 6 years? What if this was it?
What if that's the answer? Wouldn't that be?
I would. You know what? I'd buy you a Culver's.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
There's no downside here at this point.
I wish I got in an argument with Ryan. Maybe he'd buy me a Culver's.
Get lunch.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for listening to this.
Oh, yeah.
10 minute-ish talk.
Forgot. We're on air.
Yeah. Thanks for listening.
Yep.
Let us know. Have you been using this product? Have you seen what results have you seen with it? And I'm excited to see what results we see with it.
I'm in Camp Believer.
I'm in Camp Believer too. So that's where I want to make sure we agree going into this.
I'm just going to say I've never taken it off for a photo op. And
neither have I.
I'm going to look through my text messages.
Find the photo.
Okay. Thanks, everybody. We'll catch you on the next one.
See ya.
Bye.
Bye.